just really comes down to, like...
What should the quarterback do? Should he... Like, what do you think they need to do about it?
I am a big fan of dive. Like, if you know you're going to... Like, but the thing, too, people bitch about... Trevor did slide late.
He did.
He slid hella late. And if you watch, if you take your biasness out of it, because it's so hard for people to do, he already went to go make the hit. Like, I can't... If I already dove at you and then you slide late, I can't turn 230, 40 pounds to the left
you
or
already
right.
see him initiate to make a tackle, and he was supposed to guard the first down line. He was there, and he slid late. You can't give me, like, you can't say... He was like,
I'm just saying, either dive at them or just run straight out about It's not about it. Or take the hit, and you have to live with it.
But you got to think, you're the quarterback. I'm trying to take your head.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the
softly, not softly. Look, I take you out. If I take Mahomes out, Joe Burrow out, Josh Allen out, Aaron Rodgers out, you take any
I
of
can't
Lamar
help
out.
that some, like Patrick Mahomes said, I have to put meat on. Like his trainer literally said, I got to put meat on so you can take hits.
Well,
Josh Allen takes hits. Cam Newton took hits. Trevor Lawrence, some of these guys are not built to take hits. No. So then don't put yourself in a position where you're going to take a fucking hit.
But overall, I think the coaching needs to the coaching of how a quarterback needs to scramble for the scrambling quarterback. Not like the Lamars and the Hurts.
Because they know how to do it.
Because, well, they're a former pro, have a running back background a little bit.
Yeah.
But they also, they're slippery. They get out of bounds. And these other guys that scramble, I think you need to be trained better and watch better film of the kind of like a Patrick Mahomes. I don't think Patrick Mahomes to me is a great example of who knows when to get out. And Mahomes doesn't really slide. If you watch him, he takes the hit. And honestly, I think quarterbacks
makes you nervous sometimes when he takes his hit.
Maybe honestly put the quarterbacks through like the running back drills.
Yeah.
I learn how to protect the ball.
I like that. Yeah, put them through the drills. Learn to take the hits.
Because you can't hit them in the head. You still can't do that for anybody. You're not going to do that to them. And learn how to take a hit when you're running the ball because you're no longer protected. You're another dude. Yeah. Honestly, I'm here. Take the sliding ability away. You're no longer allowed to slide as a quarterback. You can either dive, take the hit, or get the fuck out of bounds.
I'm with that. 100%. I'm with that 100%.
It will save the quarterback's head. And it'll save the defense trying to figure
out
are you going down or not.
Because it's also the same thing, too. The defense has been... so much has been taken away from them. You think about some of these guys from the past, bro. Some of these dudes wouldn't make, like, they could not make it in the NFL.
Well, I disagree. I think they'd be able to adapt with the skill.
But
the skill they have. But
anyway,
I think honestly, remove it. Quarterback
either get out of bounds, take the hit, or dive. So that's how you fix it.
The staff, the coaching has to be better. And honestly, if they put them through running back drills, making them run through the bars, having them have the ball, carry the ball around, having them get punched at, I think would be a great help to move this forward.
I'm with you on that. So, speaking of the NFL season, Roger Goodell has been very adamant over the last 2 years that when the next bargaining agreement comes up, he wants 18 NFL season games. So, take all the records, throw them out the fucking window because they no longer matter no more because they're just going to get shattered.
With one extra game now, it's almost a lot of them came close.
He wants 18 games. 2 preseason games only. What are your thoughts on just 2 Because the casual fan, we don't give a fuck about preseason. No. But to your coaching staff, preseason is very adamant. Who's going to be on my special teams? Who's going to be my returner? Kick returner? Who's going to be, some of the things that preseason matter to coaching, not to us as fans.
Yeah.
So he wants 2 preseason games. He even wants more international games. I mean, the amount of international games he wants to put out there is insane.
Which is great. Which is fine. It just means more revenue for the league.
Yes.
So that's just a smart business decision and a smart business decision to make another game.
Just taking the game global.
Maybe start the season maybe earlier then. Keep the 3 preseason games. Nobody cares about them. We've knocked it down to 2. I really wouldn't care. But
we already knocked it down to 3.
Right.
Went from 4 to 3. Now you want to go to 2.
Honestly, I don't think it'd be bad if you knocked it down.
But how do you honestly really feel about 18 games though? 18 regular. Are we looking at 2 buys?
They have to.
Like you have to have 2 bye weeks.
That's the only way I'm on board with it. As for player safety, you have to add another bye. So within the first 10 weeks. Everybody has to have their bye within the first 9 weeks of that first 10 weeks of the season. And then you have to have a later bye, which would make the season a little bit longer, which I'm here for, by the way. By no means am I cut my football short because I do think it's pushing it. I do not think you, honestly, I think 16 was a lot. I think 17, we can see they can kind of manage it, but only because I think they can manage it because of where health is. Like, the training and the medical staff.
Well, we got to get better with
the
training.
development's at there. Well, some organizations need to do a lot better.
We got a lot of hamstring injuries out
that's
here.
early on in the season because, again, the restrictions there too. That's why, to me,
can we get back to 2 days, 3 days? Like, I don't know where.
To me, if they're getting rid of the preseason, I think they need to be harder in practice.
Oh, these mandatory practices, like there's no more like
the 2 days and the OTAs.
It's always mandatory.
Well,
like, you bitch ass got.
You can only add up so much in the off season, and I think you should be able to do that more than if you're getting rid of a preseason game. That portion of it should be looked at in the training camp and the OTAs portion of it. I think that needs to be looked at. But I'm here for another week of football.
Yeah,
for the Kansas City Chiefs fans,
but you got to think about it too. Add another week of football when you think about other sports. That's gonna you got to figure out how to rework your schedule.
It's just basketball.
Well, basketball's taking.
And honestly, I thought basketball should always start a little bit later on anyway, and try to eat into that baseball dead zone.
Yeah.
Personally, but on the record side of it though. You have to start anew. You have to start anew. And
whatever's there, boom. That is like
that's it.
That's moved over there.
No longer. That's the 17 game records. End it, cap it there, and then
we have your 16 game records, your 17 game records.
I don't think none of them have really been broken outside of Cooper. I think Cooper Cup maybe maybe 2 of them, but even those have asterisks. But regardless, I think you have the 17 games /16 records, and then you have anew because you have now 2 more games. The rushing titles, the passing yards, the Tom Brady records we never thought would see.
They're gone.
They're going to be annihilated by Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow.
So it's. I am here for.
Which would be really cool, honestly, for us to see these records in our time, in our generation, in our lifetime, being set and being done, and year after year, upping it and going, and then. But what do you do for career though? What about career records? Are the ones that have retired up till this point when they start the 18? Because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
What do you do with the career records? Like Tom Brady's records, are they locked in that no one can get them, and now moving on to 18 games?
That's going to be something that's going to have to be kind. I don't know. We're going to have to talk about that one.
I'm not really sure
because I don't know how you would. You're going to have to operate around it somehow. Well, like you said,
you could continue on saying the
because Patrick was there for the 16 games, he was there for the 17 games, and he's obviously going to be there for the 18 games. So it's like Tom Brady was there for 1 year of the 17. Yeah, I think it was his final year, his final 2 years. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out. It's gonna be a conversation.
I do think like the best of the best, the elite of the elite will. I think that's kind of would be disgrading, be a little disheartening to know that the record I was chasing just because I have a couple extra games, I'm no longer can chase that record.
Yeah.
So I think right now, as I'm thinking about it, I think I would allow the career records to stay available to try to surpass.
Yes.
But all the games right now, like the 18, would move like right now, like the game-wise, season records, locked. Like no longer and would start. I think kind of start anew. If they go to 18.
Honestly, it might be time to start new. There's nothing wrong with starting fresh. Like you said, we get to see in our lifetime and see as we get older. Can a player break it? The new person coming, can you go get it? You know, because you have the games, you have the availability, the technology, medicine, everything is just at your fucking disposal.
Yeah.
So.
What if not baseball, but on the side note, all of that, because football's looking to up another game.
Yeah.
There's always been talk that basketball could shorten it from 64.
Or 82 to 72.
82 or whatever. They're talking about shortening it.
Yeah.
What in basketball? Then what do you do in basketball?
I just know if you shorten the games in basketball, LeBron's record will never be fucking broken. But I tell you what, you got to be God himself.
You ain't wrong. I don't ever see that happening, but I was just curious with how you love your basketball and what you thought about that.
Well, speaking of basketball, there's some stuff we need to talk about in the NBA, and we're going to start with Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard has been activated to on-the-court activities. But Kawhi Leonard has made it very clear. Let me repeat this to you, the audience. Very clear. He's not playing until he feels like he's 100%. So he don't care about what your doctors say, my doctors say, team doctors say, his doctors say. He's not playing until he is 100%. And I'm here to tell you, Kawhi Leonard's never going to be 100%, dog. That knee that knee's been deteriorating for years now. Kawhi Leonard, dude, when he is healthy and he's on the court, there is no denying he is a top dog in the NBA. Two-way guy, can give you the bucket defensively. He's going to shut you down. Yeah. He can. He's proven it. We're not taking that away from him. But what he's done since he's been in LA, it's been a disaster. Constantly, I'm sorry. Let's keep it about. He's quit on his team two times since he's been there. He's quit. He's flat out fucking.
I think,
quit.
In our opinion,
he should retire. He's got to retire.
He's finished out of the bag, and you're not wrong.
Because he doesn't care about what your doctors say. He don't care about what any doctor says. He's like, I'm not doing it until I feel. Bro, when have you ever felt 100%? Before Zaza Pachulia put his foot underneath your ankle and then the whole world? When I was 21? Like he's not...
Bro, I don't know when I felt really good. Not for a long time. How do you feel?
My whole problem is...
You're 31 years old. When's the last time you felt good, 31-year-old?
Probably like my junior year of high school was probably like the best I ever felt. Right, but I had to put in work to feel. But my whole thing is like, what athlete in the world is ever 100%? What athlete's ever 100%? LeBron's 116 years old, still playing.
I just think that the Clippers. They messed up, and they gave the money to the wrong guy. And Paul George was more available. And honestly, I really wish Kawhi would have I wish he would have stayed with the Raptors. It would have been a lot better there. And honestly, I don't give much. I not much care to give Kawhi much love of anything because he's never on the court available to a franchise that needs that star. If he was available, he would be. He doesn't even in his commercials. He don't even talk.
No,
he's a couple one-liners, if that.
I just think it's time for him to retire, move on to the next part of his career.
Well, he's getting the bag. So he ain't going nowhere.
But another thing I want to talk about, and this is only in the NBA. I don't hear about this. Like, you hear about it in football, but it's not like it's in the NBA. You don't hear this in NHL, tennis, swimming, NASCAR, whatever fucking sport you want to bring up. What did I say? MLS. Like, you don't ever hear about this stuff. Why is it when it comes to NBA, the past players shit on the new players, but then you get mad when the new players don't show the past players love, and then the new players like, I'll smoke your ass, and then the old dude's like, oh no, you couldn't have been an elite scorer in my era, we'd lock you down, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, the NBA is the only sport that, like, nobody gives anybody flowers. Like, nobody. It don't matter if you played in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, 2020. Nobody's giving you any love. Like, you'll say it for the camera, like, yeah, we're respecting, but like Tracy McGrady out here saying, the elite scorers now couldn't be elite scorers. I think, bro, LeBron James was in your era. Kobe Bryant was in your era. Kobe played in the 2010s. LeBron's been in there 2000s, 2010s, and the 2020s. Like, what do you mean they want to be an elite scorer? James Harden changed the game. Changed the game. You tell me Steph Curry wouldn't be good in the 2000s launching a goddamn three ball when everybody's in the motherfucking paint not paying attention to you? Like, I just don't know why when it comes to NBA, everybody's so goddamn salty. Oh, I'll lock you down. You can't score on me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, like, just give the flowers. Like, this is so ridiculous. In football, you don't hear about this.
Because it's the only league, the rules always are.
The league is soft. I can't help the league is soft because of what you fuckers did in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Look, you're the fucking reason it is this way.
Because you were punching and throwing.
Because you thought defense was swinging at a motherfucker. That's not
it. Is.
Well, then maybe. Not
now. Knock up 101, see if I swing.
Like that's blacktop.
You ain't swinging.
That's blacktop.
They had electricians and pipe fitters working back in there, okay? Yeah, I'm swinging. I'm taking my ring and hitting you. No, you ain't scoring on me. No, and then MJ came, they changed the rules. Curry came, rules changed. Bron came, rules changed. Kobe. Shaq.
Will, Kareem, like, I just...
Rules changed. Everybody wants to see scoring. Nobody wants to see defense. And honestly, like, there were some great defenders in the past. There's great defenders now. And I think all great defenders on both eras could do it in both generations. Because I think they have the talent to be able to adapt to it. The same with scoring. The one person I don't think would be able to adapt because he tried and couldn't is Michael Jordan. I don't think he'd be able to create that jumper, that three ball that he would need.
Well, guys are way more. Shannon Sharp says that the guys are way more skillful now.
Well,
they're more athletic. They're taller.
That's to me, and this is a debate that we need to have for a later date. Is why Michael Jordan is so beloved, because he was the first person to fly through the air. He was the first person to. He was the most athletic guard to come into the league.
Well, he was the first guard that came in when it was dominated by
Bigs.
7-footers. And then he became a guard that you could win with a guard, and that changed the league. Like, oh,
and what everybody wanted to see if he became boss
he was
office,
the prototype.
wanted to see, instead of bruising up, instead of beating the shit out of everybody, they wanted
But
to
no,
see this.
we're going to get into more debates where it's going to include Michael.
And so, to me though, if you put Michael Jordan in this era, I don't know. You see, maybe a little bit of a Ja Morant type, maybe.
Well, Michael
maybe
had
Paul
a great
George
big
type.
range, but Michael, he didn't have the best. He
okay,
struggled.
sorry, Carmelo Anthony, but with a lot more athleticism.
I think Michael
is that really a bad comparison? If you wanted to put Michael Jordan in this era with his skill set, because he could get the midi, he couldn't necessarily hit that.
To me, he's a little bit kind of like DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan.
I think he's a lot more like Carmelo Anthony, but with
he's DeMar DeRozan with athleticism,
with a LeBron athletic ability.
Well, yeah.
in this day and age. But again, that's a little bit of debate for a different time.
But real quick, before we wrap this up, let's look at the standings. We have the East Conference. Shout out to the Cavs, man. They're 19-3.
In the East, shout out. We just rounded out to the top 5. They kind of give us kind of like surprising, not surprising, or whatever. But the Cavs, like you said,
starting with the Eastern Conference.
Starting with the East. In the East, you got the Cavs at 19-3, Celtics at 18-4, the defending champs. Orlando Magic 16-8, number 3 seed. 4 Knicks 13-8 with a new Cat. Cat there, so now after the trade. And then the Bucks finally kind of got turned around a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of 11-10.
8-2 in their last 10 games. So that's the top 5.
Any surprise? Like, what's the surprise?
Shout out to the Pistons. They're 9-15. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Cade Cunningham is taking the next step. Pacers, fucking disappointed. Like, you're, 9-14? What the hell is going on with the Pacers?
I thought it was a light struggle. I think, come off a little bit late struggle. For me, honestly, like you said.
Oh, and you can't forget the 76ers sitting down there at fucking 5-15.
That's my biggest disappointment. Joel played for the Team USA, and then it's like, my knee.
Paul George, knee. And then Tyrese Maxey.
Well, you can't help Paul George. Paul George actually is hurt.
Yes.
And so to me, it's the 76ers, but I think they can flip a switch, get guys healthy.
They're going to need
a great coaching staff.
But really,
the shout out for me is there's mine. Magic. Yes. 16-8. They paid their head coach last year. I was like, really? You have one great year, now you're gonna pay the guy? And they're replicating success, which is what I'm waiting on the Pacers. So shout out to the Magic for replicating it, and the Cavs making the head coaching swap.
Now, Orlando, just because he gave you a goddamn compliment, don't fuck this up.
Pretty much, because honestly, like the Celtics.
He's tooting your horn right now.
But we jump over to the West. Our OKC Thunder, 16-5. Rockets, 15-7. The Mavs with Clay, 14-8. The Grizz with a healthy jaw, 14-8. And the Suns with KD and Book, 12-8. Also, the Warriors are also 12-8, but the Suns have the tiebreaker.
Honestly, the biggest surprise for me in this is the Rockets, and the biggest disappointment for me is a split between the Pelicans and the Kings. Like,
the Kings are 10-12 though.
But it's
in the West is really the West is tough. Like 10-12, if they would flop that to 12-10, I mean they jump all the way up to like the 8.
But the Pacers have been or not the Pacers, sorry, the Pelicans, bro. It's just move on. Brandon Ingram, he wants out. It looked like he would trade Zion. I don't even know what Zion does anymore. Like
at 14-18, and Zion's in the
you went and traded for Javonte Murray. He unfortunately broke his wrist or whatever, and he's now back. But it's like I don't know if you can climb out of that hole in the Western Conference. But real quick before we wrap this up, Ja Morant came out and said that he's not trying to dunk no more, and people are like on him like. I'm glad that somebody told him to stop trying to put it on everybody. Do you not remember Derrick Rose? Like, Ja is understanding, like, Ja's still going to dunk. Don't get it twisted. But it's going to be in fast breaks. Open court. He's not coming down the lane trying to put it on everybody's head. He understands, like, you a little dude, you get knocked around.
He's not trying to rise on the 7
footers. And I'm proud for Ja for understanding that.
A layup foul is 2 points, and that's less of a fall than trying to rise and hit the foul. Because 2 points is still 2 points.
The fact that people are out here hating on that is so irritating to me.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
The only thing I got to say on that is that I hope we get to see the athleticism then in the dunk contest.
Yeah, I would like to see him.
If you're not going to dunk out in game, let me see it in the dunk contest.
Yes, I would love. Like I would. I'm not giving y'all anything because I got nothing to give. But dude, I want to see you in the dunk contest because that's where we would like to see you. But no, the Western Conference is going to be. This is going to be an interesting Western Conference. Because you got the Nuggets, I think they need to make a move for the bench. Jamal Murray's, I don't know where he's at. Russell Westbrook's played better than him this year. And people were on Russell Westbrook that he needed to fucking retire.
Well, we're only what looks like about 22 games in.
3 weeks
most
in the season,
teams.
pretty much.
So it's really early, but like I said, the Rockets for me, they made a lot of late moves last year. To me, they're
getting
kudos
homegrown.
to them.
They're just like the Orlando Magic, homegrown.
And they made some surprising moves last year.
Yes.
And then, honestly, for me too, it's the.
And then we do have the NBA Cup that is going on. I believe it starts this weekend. I believe you have the OKC versus Dallas. That's going to be a fucking good game. Rockets and Warriors, okay. Knicks, Hawks, and then Magic Bucks, we're going to have a new in-season tournament champion because the Lakers and Pacers were in there last year. They both have been eliminated.
Yep.
So we're going to have a new championship for the Cup this year. And it's going to, honestly, I don't know who it's going to be because we got a lot of young teams in here, and it's going to be great. But, yeah, definitely tune in next week. We're going to have a lot more to talk about college football. We're going to be ramping up these Michael Jordan debates, getting into some old school, new school stuff. NFL playoffs are... Well, we're not close, but
we're at week 14.
We're at week 14,
We're 4 weeks away. 4 weeks left for the season.
And so, yeah, tune in next week. Make sure you hit that follow button. We'll see you guys next week.